Do you buy your games on Game Pass? The ones that are actually on Game Pass? Do you try it or do you buy it? That's what Court and I are going to talk about today on the show. Hey, buddy. How are you? Good morning.
I'm good. It's Monday.
Yeah.
You know, it's the new week. I know it's an Xbox show. Horizon reviews came out, and the game is a banger, and I'm excited to play it.
Yeah, me too. Then there's also other titles like Xbox Game Pass has. I'm excited for like MLB The Show.
Well, yeah, right now we're literally going to have a topic from Windows Central. Did a great article from Robert. Yeah, you know what, Carnival. Sure, I'm so bad with names. But the title of the article is "Do you buy games that are on Game Pass?" And we're going to talk about it because guess what? I do. I buy games that are already on Game Pass.
How dare you? Weird.
I'm weird.
Weirdo. Buying your games that are already out. It is what it is. But let's talk about it. Xbox Game Pass takes current era of digital rentership to its logical extreme. When you, quote, buy a game these days, what you're often doing is purchasing a license to rent a copy in perpetuity. So in other words, the difference between buying and borrowing is smaller than ever. This spawns a question. Do you bother purchasing titles that are on Game Pass, either after or during their time on Microsoft's service? Or do you simply enjoy your temporary access while it lasts? Let's pause it there for a sec. Court, you're more than me, probably. You are falling on the side of buying the games on Game Pass. I'm probably much less. I think of games like Horizon, where I bought the add-on content for it. But that's still just
we're talking about
DLC.
Forza Horizon.
Forza Horizon, not Horizon. Right. Yeah, Forza Horizon. But not really. I really rarely, I don't think ever think of like main titles that I've bought that have been on Game Pass. But you're a different story.
So I'll add a caveat to that. So the game that I have purchased that is on Game Pass would be Control, which I am currently playing right now. It's an amazing game for those who don't know. It's leaving Game Pass, or it might have already left. I can't remember at this point. But the version that was on Game Pass was the standard edition. Now, the thing I do love about Game Pass is any of these editions, they give you a discount if you want to purchase said game.
Yeah.
So if the game is on Game Pass, it's an easy upgrade to get that game. It was $11.99 Canadian in the store for the Ultimate Edition.
Dang, that's cheap. Yeah.
So I bought it because it comes with the DLC. The edition that was on Game Pass did not come with the DLC. It was just the standard edition of the game.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Edition had the 4K glow up with the 60 frames per second. It looks beautiful. And it comes with all the DLC, including the Alan Wake DLC. So I paid for the game. I've also paid for the upgrades like you have with Forza. I pay for the Ultimate Editions if they're allowed to do it. It seems that only Xbox First Party does it as of right now. I haven't seen many other games or found an example of another game that has done it. MLB The Show makes you just buy the game outright for the Ultimate Edition.
Yeah.
There are some games, I'm sure when Ubisoft Plus comes, it's different because all the DLC come. But I own all those games. But there is an instance where I do feel like I should be buying the game. And it's not because I want to... the helping the developers and so on and so forth. And I know I buy digital. I don't buy physical personally. Even when you buy physical, we've talked about this, you're still only just getting a disc that downloads it from the store. There's not much on that disc. But
let me continue the article here for a second, because I do want to talk about that point of what's the incentive really. So it says here, like, there are incentives to, quote, buying a game outright, even if it's on Game Pass. So for example, the Game Pass version typically don't include all of the DLC. So like your example with Control. So you have to pay for those separately, even if you're getting the base game for your subscription, at which point some people opt to just buy the complete edition outright. And then there are weird cases like Crossfire X, wherein you get a piece of the game via Game Pass as a sort of super enhanced demo, but you have to buy the title if you want more. And the point is, even with Microsoft's service, impressive value proposition, there are still reasons to pay for games the old school ways. And I agree with that piece and like what your experience is with Control of like, you can get the base game, but if you've now waited and you can get it discounted and you're getting the Ultimate Definitive Edition, it's a way better proposition. However, the physical version, now you're still buying the digital on your end. The physical piece, I think you still run into the headaches of like you said, there's not much on the disc. And so you're going to be kind of screwed maybe at a later point. The digital version, buying it outright, I see being a little bit better. But like for you, why? What's the incentive? Is it just to be able to say I got the definitive?
No, it's not an incentive. It's like so I totally get the whole physical versus digital. We talked about
Yeah.
this on a show before. People love having the physical copy, and I used to be the same way. Only recently did I sell most of my physical copies of games, just because I don't know. I have the philosophy you can't take it with you, and I get the whole digital. You're only owning a licensing.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. So as long as you're fine with that, that it is what it is. But there's also the issue that a game on Game Pass, unless it's a first party studio, doesn't mean it's going to be there forever.
Correct.
So if you haven't gotten around to play said game, like Kingdom Hearts is left, there's a bunch of games that have left, you will have to buy said game. So what they do, which I do like, which for example, Control, I hadn't played the game yet. Just one of those games that I missed, and I kept saying I'm going to get to it, and I just never got to it. Then when they announced it was leaving Game Pass, I was like, oh my God, I still haven't played this game. I went into the store, it was on sale, and I was able to get the full, Ultimate Edition version of the game for $11.99. So to me, it was like, okay, and I've played now just almost 7 hours of this game, enjoying it. Did I get my money's worth? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm getting it at a discount. I can't get that same deal when I'm not buying digital most of the time, I find.
Yeah.
I still believe, I'm a firm believer that digital games should cost less than the physical copy because less is going into it, but for some reason they don't. But I do like the fact that I can go into the store and 9 times out of 10 I can get an older game for a heck of a lot cheaper on the digital version than I could if I went to my local GameStop.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of like even on my end of like, okay, why would I buy outright? I just think of like Halo, because you can buy Halo Infinite. Why would somebody buy Halo Infinite digitally?
If they're a Halo collector. If they're a Halo collector,
I guess that's it. Is like if there's ever a change to a game, but maybe Halo is just a bad example because it's a first party Microsoft. It's not going anywhere.
See, that's the thing. I don't buy those games. It's the third parties that I buy.
So if we had like let's just play a little bit of like, okay, Ubisoft is, or EA Play, because we know EA Play is in there. I was going to say Ubisoft is part of Game Pass, but EA Play we know is part of Game Pass Ultimate. NHL. Would you buy the NHL?
I did. Because you don't get it right away. Well, I'm just saying.
Madden.
We just had the Super Bowl.
We just had the Super Bowl. So if Madden was discounted.
I watched it for the trailers. I don't care. Yeah.
Doctor Strange. But if you have Madden, would you buy it? If you enjoyed that year of Madden, I'll preface that by saying it's a good Madden game.
But you have to. So EA Play to me is a different example because the games aren't there right away. They're not day and date on EA Play. So you get them later. So Mass Effect, I purchased.
Yeah.
NHL 22, I purchased. So yes, I would buy an EA game. It's more of the, like I said, the third party. If it's first party Microsoft Studios, 9 times out of 10, no. I just know it's always going to be on Game Pass. That's something they promised to their people. It's just like when you have a PlayStation Plus subscriber.
Yeah.
You know that if you get rid of that, you lost all those games, which is yikes. And that's the same thing you have to think in your mindset with Game Pass. If your subscription lapse, yes, you can re-get it and go in and get it. But like if that service is gone, those games are gone. So if you're okay with that, then that's fine. But for me, for Control, I wanted to play it. And if it's an EA game, I want to play it. So it's all masked of wants and needs. Do I need to buy Halo? No. But if I really wanted to play it and I knew it was leaving Game Pass, I'm probably going to buy it. So I'm more inclined to buy a game if I know it's leaving Game Pass and I haven't played it.
What about... I guess I would worry too that down the road, and I guess it's more forward thinking, and you go into the game store of either PlayStation or Xbox, and you're like, I want this game, I'm gonna either get it for free through the subscription service, or I'll just buy it because it's giving me a game now and play it. We don't always think about long term, but lately, because of the acquisitions going on, I've been thinking more and more of, well, should I just buy that? Should somebody buy this game outright because I could then play it on my service? On my console, my respective console, because what happens in 2 years, 5 years, if said company is going from PlayStation to Xbox back and forth, and I have that game digitally through the storefront, but if they go to another company, is it still going to be...
lose them. You don't lose those games. Like you'd lose future games. Like I'm not currently Vanguard's on sale. Haven't played it. It's $50. I'm not going to buy it because I know it's coming to Game Pass. So I'm like, I can wait. All the Ubisoft games. I know
Yeah.
Ubisoft Plus is coming to Xbox. That is another subscription service. So all the Ubisoft games are 70% off or whatever on the Xbox, or 50 to 70% off on the Xbox store right now. Well, I'm not going to buy any of those games. I already did that at Christmas time.
Yeah, you
It's
did.
all depending on the pros and cons for me. It's if the game's leaving. So for me, it's all about that. If the game I know will never leave Game Pass,
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy the version of it.
So there's one more quote here from Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella says, Game Pass subscribers are big spenders. Quote, Game Pass is growing rapidly and it's transforming how people discover, connect, and play games. He said during the company's fiscal year for 2021, the Q4 earnings call, quote, subscribers play approximately 40% more games and spend 50% more than non-members.
100%. If a game is on Game Pass, I would be buying the DLC and the expansion passes and the battle passes 100% because I'm like, well, that's value. It's only I bought the Halo Infinite battle pass. Kind of feel like I got ripped off, but
Me too.
I got one. It was only $10. So
I look at Forza Horizon as a game that was also late last year, and I fall into this category too for a game like that where I go, game is free through my subscription service. I feel like it's paid for because if I play 4 premium titles, I'm covered. So Forza's free for me. And then I also look at like what is all the add-on content, and maybe I spent $30, $40 for their season pass, DLC, all of that for the deluxe, and I go, great. I only spent $40 and I get all of this content forever on a game that I really love. So it makes total sense that subscribers, the 25 million or whatever we're at now, pay more because they dunk into the DLC. Non-members, which I'm like, there are non-members now? Like there's still non-members out there?
Well, I'm sure there is, but like to me, that's a weird one. If you the value is just so great. But some people don't like subscription services, period, and that's like a hill they're going to die on, and that's fine.
That's where I want to meet the young gamer who is not subscribed to a Game Pass service and has an Xbox in their house. And I'd love to know the thinking behind that. Are they
or any type of gamer, not young, but
any type of gamer. But any gamer that is like, I have an Xbox in my house, I play it regularly, and I don't have Game Pass. I wonder what the thought process is there. Other than, like you said, I don't like subscription. It could be financial. It could be I don't like subscription services, or a combination of both. And I totally hear that. Outside of that argument, I wonder what the reason would be. Because if it's financial, Game Pass is the way to go between the two, right? It's like, well, if you were a Halo player or a Forza player, why are you spending $80 when you're going to get it for 10? Or finagle online, you could probably get it for free. You know what I mean? So I don't really know what the non-gamers are doing. But anyways, that's a whole other rabbit hole. So I guess the question is to everybody out there is, do you buy Game Pass titles?
Or have you bought any title that is on Game Pass, and while it was on Game Pass, did you purchase it?
Let us know. It's a good conversation because it's interesting. It's just, to me, it's fascinating on the numbers side to understand, members versus non-members and people's kind of habits, like how they perceive games and the value of them too, right? Like where you said you picked up Control because you're like, it's $11 and I got it all, and you're having a good time. They also mentioned games like Crossfire and Crossfire X in the article, and that's one court that I personally did not like how they rolled that out. Let's put aside for a second. Let's shelve how the game's performed. Just the menus and what you're getting, and even like they said in the article, I totally agree. It feels like, here's your demo. It's on Game Pass. Here's your demo. And then immediately, really like you and I experienced, here's premium. You got to buy. It was a turnoff. And I really hope that this is almost like a outlier, because I do not want games to go down this hole of, oh, here's the game on Game Pass. It's a 2-hour experience for a mission, and there's online, and you're like, this is all just a demo.
And then if you really like it, we're going to ask you to buy more. It was a weird gotcha moment. And it was the first big fail for me on Game Pass. Not just as the game wasn't as good, and the developer put out issued a statement saying they're hearing people, they're going to fix it. It's more of the gotcha moment that you're talking about, where like, hey, here's half of Remedy's story. If you want the rest, give us $30. So I don't like it.
Let us know in the comments below, though. What do you guys think about games that are on Game Pass, and Do you try it and then do you buy it after or not? Let us know. And if you guys enjoy the episode here on Xbox A, it's Court, Matt, hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up, all that jazz. Right, Court? Ding dong.
Click subscribe
and
Yeah,
notifications.
don't. Yeah,
Don't what? Don't say the weird thing.
Yeah.
Don't make it weird. It's too late. See you guys. Bye.
bye.